Hi, I'm Chris Barnes. I'm here at the amazing facility at the International Training and Research Center here in Arlington, Texas. I'm here with Columbia 300 brand manager Bugsy Kelly, and we're going to talk to you today about a brand new series and a brand new ball, the Ransom. Bugsy, you've spent some time on this ball and you've really developed something brand new in this price point. Why don't you tell us about the ball?
Chris, it's kind of interesting how we came up with the Ransom. As you'll notice, we're using the full swing core, which can be found on some very successful high-performance products from Columbia 300. We modified the densities, and then we moved it down to our upper mid-performance price point so that we could have the best upper mid-performance ball on the market today.
Yeah, a guy like me is really interested in the numbers. I like to know what the RGs and differentials are. What are the numbers on this ball?
Chris, the full swing version 2 core has a high 253 RG, a high 055 differential, and an intermediate differential of 016.
Those are much higher performance numbers than we've had at the upper mid price point before. This ball has a ton of hook potential. But we got a new cover stock too, right?
Yeah, Chris, the Super Tilt cover stock that we're using on this ball is actually a brand new formulation exclusively for Columbia 300. The great thing about Super Tilt is its versatility and strength. In its pearlized form like this, it gets down the lane very well, and when it sees the friction in the back of the lane, it gives you a nice little kick. It's going to give you some back-end reaction. Chris, I see you have two different Ransoms here. Why don't you tell me about them?
Well, it's kind of what I start with, Bugsy, when I'm generally drilling a ball. My axis point is 5 over and 3/4 up, so this tall pin here is almost a 5.5 inch pin. We'll call it 5 for simplicity's sake. No extra hole. The mass bias is close to my thumb. This ball will be pretty strong. It'll give me some length down the lane, and this will hook more down lane. This is going to be closer to my skid flip drilling. This other one is a drilling I use quite a bit. A lower 5. This is probably almost 4 3/4. I got a hole a little bit below my axis point. This ball is meant to dig a little harder in the mid lane, smooth out the overall reaction, but it'll cover more boards. It'll just do it 4 to 5 feet sooner.
Very good.
On this first delivery, we're using a complete bedlam, a tall 5.5 inch pin. You can see it goes longer and a little bit smoother down lane. This one's meant for medium dry lanes. Now this shot, this is the pin up Ransom. I'm about 5 further left than I was with the complete bedlam. You can see a much better move down lane and the ability to play in much heavier oil. This last shot's with a pin down Ransom. I've moved about 3 boards further left. You can see it pick up about 4 feet sooner on the lane and still drive through the pocket. So as you can see, the taller pin went cleaner through the front, still gave me a good mid lane reaction, but gave me a much more angular reaction down lane. The lower pin ball hooked sooner in the mid lane, gave me a stronger overall reaction, a little smoother, but with all that, the higher RG plus that giant differential, he was able to keep going and allow me to strike from a deeper angle in the lane.
I'm here with longtime Columbia 300 staffer and assistant coach to Team USA, Brian O'Keefe. Today, Brian's going to throw the Ransom for you.
Brian with a complete bedlam here on this first shot. A little bit smoother reaction, both in the front and down lane. Now with the pin down Ransom, this is Brian's preferred reaction as it picks up sooner and allows it to drive through the pins, a heavier roll. And the last one's with a pin up Ransom. He's another board right than he was with the pin down, which was 3 boards more than complete bedlam. He has to work a little harder to get this one started. Still makes a great move down lane. We're here with longtime Columbia 300 staffer and friend Jen Murphy, and she's going to throw a couple of different Ransoms for us. And now Jen with the complete bedlam. She has more axis tilt. This ball goes very long for her. Now with the pin up Ransom, she's moved 3 boards left. This ball also goes pretty long for her with that axis rotation. And the last and best reaction for Jen is the pin down Ransom. This one picks up stronger in the mid lane, has plenty of core to keep going through the pins. The combination of a proven core and a brand new cover stock all at the upper mid price point makes this ball an easy choice for anyone who wants to maximize their performance for their dollar. So for Jen Murphy, Brian O'Keefe, this is Chris Barnes and Bugsy Kelly. Make sure you check out the newest and latest edition from Columbia 300 and hold your opponents for ransom.